Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Matthew McKnight. I'm a technical specialist at Autodesk, and thanks for joining us today, where we're going to be looking at some of the what's new in Autodesk 2019, in Inventor 2019, new features and functionality. This is the first in a series of webinars. Hopefully you've already received invitations to a number of others around Vault 2019, what's new, some of the changes to collections, and so forth. So hopefully this isn't the first and only time that we'll see you at a webinar over the coming months. But in this instance, thank you for joining us. So I'm going to get stuck straight into it today and give you a bit of an overview, look at the agenda of what we'll be covering today. Firstly, we've done our welcome, which is good. And now we'll move on to jumping straight into the new features and functionality of Inventor 2019. Now, here we're going to be breaking this down into three areas: professional grade design, and engineering, connected workflows, and the Inventor user experience. So we'll be gathering the new features, functionality, enhancements, workflows, and categorizing them into those three critical areas. Towards the end of the presentation, we'll then be talking a little bit about how you can access the updates and how you can contribute also towards the development of future releases of Inventor. Let's give just a quick overview of what was the focus of the 2019 release, and it's really built for today's engineering and design professional. A lot of this comes from customer feedback that's provided by people like you, and this drives enhancements, new features and functionality that you see in the 2019 release. There's been a focus on improved performance, automation, and core modeling workflows. And Inventor 2019 also connects to the Autodesk Cloud, which helps you unlock collaboration, design, and supply chain user workflows. Now again, coming to what I said a few moments ago, we have categorized these into the three critical areas of professional grade design and engineering, cloud connected workflows, and the Inventor experience. This is the user experience of you, the customer. We'll firstly start off by talking a little bit about the features which we categorize as part of professional grade design. And this is, improvements in areas such as design and automation and performance to help you stay ahead of your market needs and the expectations of viewers, the customer. Firstly, I'd like to highlight some of the performance enhancements to both the assemblies and drawings components. Now, we've seen this over the last, in recent times, where the development team have spent considerable effort improving performance in areas of the workflow. It's good to see that that's followed through into the 2019 release as well. And it's because we, you and myself, both understand the importance of performance in the day-to-day use of a design solution like Inventor. And the development team are constantly looking for ways to improve Inventor's performance. This comes in a number of ways in the 2019 release. So in assemblies, it's in areas such as in-place editing, assembly updates, positional representations, assembly features, pattern selection, and more. Whilst in drawings, it comes in areas such as view creation, updates, and navigation. The team are suggesting that you could see as much as 7 times faster 3D sectioning with inside of assemblies. You can see reductions up to 35% in compute time, and rebuilds as much as 80% faster than previous. So there are some significant improvements to be had with this new release. If we have a look at some of these things in action and understand the impact on the design workflow inside the assembly environment first, you'll see, like I said, some improvements in areas like pan, zoom, and rotate. When working on a larger assembly like this, it becomes much more manageable than maybe in the past. When it comes to editing sub-assemblies, you might find that you're inclined to start doing that with inside of the top level assembly because of the improvements that have been made in this area. And section views of large assemblies have also seen improvements and are more dynamic than before, enabling you to quickly create a new section view, as you can see here, without some of the challenges that might exist in typically trying to do this inside of a CAD solution. Now, when it comes to drawings, there's a number of enhancements in this area as well. In particular, when it comes to placing both base and projected views, which now generate faster than previous. This, along with the fact that when you generate those views after you've accepted the desired orientation, this also happens faster as well. What about existing views? You go back into the assembly, you make some changes to the model, you then move back to the drawing environment, where you'll be glad to know that this also has received some enhancements in speeding up the process. So again, across the board, when working with large assemblies, you can see some great enhancements that help improve the performance when working with Inventor 2019. Now, a good place to go that was also recently updated with the 2019 release is the knowledge network, or the help content that comes with the 2019 release. And in particular, I wanted to highlight two areas. One, large assembly best practice, and two, the large assembly modeling workflows. Each of these gives you unique insight into areas that you can help improve the level of performance of when working with large assemblies, but also help you understand the impact of the decisions that you make during that modeling process and the downstream impact that might have on ultimately your designs. Furthermore, we also see other areas that have also been improved when it comes to performance enhancements. Things like the display speed of threaded holes has been improved. Zoom consistency with mouse wheel, 3D mouse, and zoom command are all more consistent because of this. And you'll note that if you're using Content Center, that this now caches remote content during a session, which helps reduce the time waiting for remotely hosted content to display. Good thing is that when you close or your Inventor session concludes, the cache is cleared, removing the material that's stored in memory. And almost 20% of Inventor users leverage iLogic in their designs. And with the 2019 release of Inventor, iLogic now comes with the ability to be able to add and delete parts, assemblies, and constraints within inside of your designs. There's also new commands that help you capture a model's current state, and you can now assign names to faces and edges and then create a rule that adds the constraints directly to those faces when you're defining your iLogic rules. Now, these on top of other improvements that include things like iLogic help for functions, components and management behavior, document units geometry, new iLogic assembly, and add constraints functions show the impact of the 2019 release in this environment of Inventor. So if you're a user of this environment, it's well worth considering looking at some of these changes, which is what we'll do here in this short video as well. And automation continues to be an area of focus with inside of the 2019 release, and predominantly, as we've discussed, that revolves largely around the iLogic workflows. Adding, modifying, and deleting components and constraints is now easier. In the conveyor assembly, we're deleting and then adding the chute to the assembly, along with the 3 constraints that are required to fully define its position. Now, in the rule editor, you'll see this as a simple logic statement to either remove or add the chute. And then below that are the 3 constraints that are constraining and positioning the chute. Now, beyond this, there are 3 areas of snippets. They're assembly components, relationships, and positioning. And these can be quickly added to existing rules by double-clicking one of them and changing the references that are brought in. And then once you've brought these, you've defined your rules, it's often that you need to constrain parts and geometry inside of your designs. And using faces in references is no longer a problem with the 2019 release. Here in this assembly, we're adding or removing casters to the bottom of the assembly. And in this instance, a name on the face makes it easier than ever to identify specific areas of your model in the rule editor. And you can do this now with inside of Inventor by, with inside of the part or assembly that you're referring, enter the name of a entity, in this instance a face, but it could be an edge as well, and then referencing this with inside of your iLogic scripting. So you can see here that, again, some fantastic improvements that help with your productivity and expand the capabilities of using iLogic to automate your designs with Inventor 2019. Now, model-based definition, or what's often referred to as MBD, is available inside of every version of Inventor. This is based on demand from customers to streamline not only the manufacturing workflows, but also automate drawing creation and even possibly eliminate drawings altogether. With Inventor 2019, MBD continues to be enhanced based on customer feedback and industry demands. In this area, previously, the Tolerance Advisor reported only the status of the tolerance scheme, but now with the 2019 release, you can now enable face status coloring to display the constraint state of the model. To do this, you click the face status coloring at the bottom of the Tolerance Advisor browser, and this will turn face coloring either on or off. Also in the previous release, the quantity of a hole pattern was displayed only when you use the tolerance feature to annotate a hole. But subsequently in the 2019 release, the general annotation hole thread note command has been updated to display the pattern quantity that's now included as part of that feature. So again, if we look at a workflow that showcases some of this, model-based definition tools inside of Inventor allow you to dimension, annotate, and tolerance your 3D models, and potentially eliminating the need for a drawing altogether. The Tolerance Advisor built into Inventor 2019 now allows you to see the constraint state of the faces, enabling you to quickly understand which faces are constrained, under constraint or unconstrained, or even constrained by a general surface profile. So there's a number of ways of defining or understanding how you're constraining. And the hole and thread note now automatically displays pattern quantities similar to the tolerance feature. So here are a number of great enhancements to model-based definition features in Autodesk Inventor 2019 to help you quickly document your 3D parts and designs. Now let's look at some of the enhancements in the area of connected workflows. And Inventor 2019 connects to the Autodesk Cloud, helping users to collaborate, design, and communicate their designs in new and powerful ways. Now, this cloud-connected Inventor enables you to leverage your design beyond the desktop with simple, secure, and powerful workflows. This is highlighted by new functionality called shared views. Now, customers are constantly challenged to stay connected and informed, yet communication channels tend to still be a bit of a barrier. We all should understand they're sharing this information either outside of the design group or possibly outside of the company is often challenging and difficult to do. Now, to address this, the 2019 release of Inventor has added what are called shared views. And shared views replace technology that was previously called Inventor Connected Design Shares to be in alignment with a common component that's used across numerous different products. And they include the likes of AutoCAD, Volt, Alias, Delcam, Moldflow, 3ds Max. So if you're using any of those technologies, you're going to see similar workflows for creating the same across those products. The idea here is that shared views enable you to simplify and speed up the review cycle. It enables you to collaborate on 2D and 3D views with anyone and to receive comments and feedback directly inside your product. So looking at the workflow and understanding what's happening here, we have shared views which can be activated from the Collaborate tab using the shared views icon, and then with a few clicks we can share our design from Inventor. Now, right directly within inside of the panel, we'll get updates on comments and we can contribute towards comments within inside of this. But a lot of the power comes from collaborators being able to access from a web-enabled device the design, be able to work with tools like markups, measure, and even exploded assemblies as you can see here, which is done with a simple drag, to understand the design and pass on feedback for the design intent. Users can redline or mark up a design with intuitive tools, and comments and notifications are then sent via email as collaborators and feedback is provided to the design, and additional comments are added to the feed. Now, in turn, this view can then be shared with others, further promoting the collaborative nature of shared views in themselves. And this is just one example of how Inventor 2019 is really helping users connect like never before and break down some of those traditional barriers associated with being able to gather fast feedback on your design process. Another subscription benefit to Inventor, to those people that have Inventor 2019, is Autodesk Drive. And Autodesk Drive is a cloud storage solution that allows individuals and small teams to organize, preview, and share a wide range of design data. It supports over 60 different types of Autodesk and third-party file formats. And here you can view as well as organize files within Autodesk Drive directly to your desktop. Likewise, the new AnyCAD workflow allows you to take advantage of the power of Inventor and Fusion 360 together. Here you can bring Fusion 360 models directly into Inventor for things like system integration, or maybe it's large assembly design or documentation. The good thing is that when the Fusion 360 design is updated, the change will automatically flow through to Inventor. And likewise, if you're referencing an Inventor model with inside of Fusion 360 for things like maybe cloud-enabled simulation or CAM, because Fusion 360 now uses the same AnyCAD technology, changes in the Inventor model can be automatically consumed in Fusion 360. Note, however, that this technology at the moment is a preview technology. The preview technology allows you to experience the new features on a test-only basis within Inventor before the features are fully released. And then finally, we come to the Inventor experience. Now, many of you will have heard me mention, and many of you will know, or maybe even contributed to, what's called the Idea Station or the Idea Forum. And this is because it's been around for a few years, and it's been a great way for users to be able to contribute towards the design and input of design of future releases of Inventor. These are customer-focused, the Inventor experience features that I'm about to highlight are customer-focused enhancements that can be seen throughout Inventor that predominantly come from contributions on the Ideas Forum. They are things like improved commands, streamlined workflows, and refreshed tools, and are areas where feedback from customers around the world continue to improve the Inventor user experience. Now, many of the following enhancements were implemented directly from this feedback, and in this instance, you'll see over 25 Inventor ideas that have been delivered with the Inventor 2019 release, and this is on top of the other enhancements that we've already talked about. So, those of you who are using the 2018 release will have seen that we recently refreshed some of the workflows and functionality of that release. The goal here was to ensure that when we're not only refreshing areas, we're also looking to add new functionality and improve workflows. This approach was used in two specific areas in the 2018 release. This was the browser and the measure command panel. Now, in the 2019 release, the same panel experience is delivered to the whole command, which is arguably one of the more common features used inside of Inventor. The new whole command is faster and smarter by inferring hole placement from your interactions, and you can apply dimensional and concentric constraints without first creating a sketch. So let's have a look at what the new whole command looks like visually, but also what that workflow looks like. So the whole command has essentially been totally overhauled to make creating and placing holes faster and more robust than before. You'll use less picks and clicks to place your holes, and Inventor will automatically change the placement type on your interaction with the model. So you'll find that the tool is much more engaging, much more responsive to user input. You're going to spend less time trying to enter information and more time creating it. Initial sketches aren't required when placing holes, as Inventor will do this for you automatically, and switching between the feature and sketch is a simple click. Presets, which is another great feature of this new panel, enables you to further automate the whole creation process and further enhances your ability to streamline and speed up the whole placement in Inventor 2019. So as you can see, a number of new workflows that can be used when creating holes in a tool that is commonly used, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of anticipation of people to get out there and start understanding how it can help improve their design workflows in the 2019 release. Now we come to sheet metal, and nearly 40% of Inventor customers use sheet metal every day, which is quite astounding. Inventor continues to deliver enhancements to sheet metal to meet the changing demands for the modern design and manufacturing environment. This comes in predominantly a number of areas. The couple that I'm going to hide are the changes to the face command, which allows users to extrude from a mid-plane to create a symmetric face, but also the new laser weld corner relief terminates with a tangent arc, making it more suitable for laser cut parts. So again, jumping in to look at the workflow of the sheet metal enhancements in the 2019 release, and let's have a look at the two in particular that I highlighted earlier. Now the face command now enables a mid-plane offset, which comes from a user request. This is particularly useful when trying to align a new face with an existing face, and potentially saves a number of features to ensure that alignment is correct. Furthermore, the laser weld has also been added to the corner relief shape, and this enables you to create corner relief that terminates with a tangent arc and provides more suitable flat patterns for laser cut parts, and you'll see this when we look up and close. So hopefully you can see that the new sheet metal options in 2019 help you model the way you want and provide more manufacturing options for you. Moving to other areas of Inventor 2019, we also see a new option inside of the tube and pipe environment to lock the hose length of your tubes and pipes. So this allows you to calculate an exact hose length. When selected, if components move or shift, this option prevents the length of the hose from changing due to adaptivity. And values generated by applying the trim extent command inside a frame generator to cut angles on frame members are available in the iProperties Custom tab. And additionally, the frame generated GL parameter reliably reports correct lengths. Furthermore, the place constraint dialog box provides 3 new solutions for constraining 2 axes together. You can use the new options of opposed and aligned to control the direction of an axis when creating a mate constraint between 2 axes. There's actually 3 options. There's opposed, which is the default. This reverses the mate direction of the first selected component. There's aligned. This maintains the mate direction of the first selected component, and then there's undirected, and this creates an undirected axis constraint on the closest axis. You can also use the new option lock rotation to lock the rotational degrees of freedom on a component when placing an insert constraint. Again, these are highlighted in the workflow that we can see here in Autodesk Inventor 2019 that includes these productivity enhancements and improvements for assemblies. You can now define and lock the hose length for your route. This can be done in the Edit dialog box or by adding a dimension manually to the spline. The good thing here is that when your geometry updates, then the hose length adapts to the change in the geometry. So if you're moving components inside of your assembly, the hose will move with the constraints, but maintain the length of the hose, which is often a requirement of your designs with fixed length hoses. There are also changes to constraints. The insert constraint is great for defining all degrees of freedom besides rotation. Now in Inventor 2019, you can lock the rotation of a component with a single click, and this saves time in adding another constraints or other constraints to fully define its position. Next, the place constraint provides 3 new solutions for constraining 2 axes. and you can use the new positions for opposed and aligned to control the axis position the way you want it to. So again, a number of user enhancements that improve the experience when working with Inventor 2019. Now, there's a number of other changes and enhancements that have been made as well. There's also a new option to migrate custom settings to bring your existing customization and application option settings into the latest Inventor release. And the good thing is for administrators, you also have additional control over the use of this option in deployments. The color scheme editor is installed as part of the Inventor 2019 installer, and you can access it from the application options color tab, and customizations are saved to the application options XML file. And some further Inventor ideas that have come from the Ideas Forum or the Ideas Station. When it comes to sketch enhancements, the helical curve command has been enhanced to support creating a variable pitched helix. For drawing sketches, auto-project edges during curve creation has been improved to behave the same as model sketches. You can also create a fillet with either convex edges or concave edges. And previously, when using Direct Edit, you could only rotate or move a face feature to another location, but now automatic blending, which is a reblending technology that automatically moves adjacent tangential faces, can help create new blends if required, as is available when you move or rotate a face. So let's have a look at, again, these. And part modeling tools in Inventor 2019 add more robust direct editing and more ideas from the forums, the idea forum. Direct editing is a great way for modifying non-native data in an AnyCAD workflow, or if you're just wanting to make a quick edit to your design. The Inventor 2019 now supports automatic blending when using Direct Edit, and this automatic blending moves adjacent tangential faces and creates new blends if required, and works when moving or rotating faces. There's also the new inverted fillet option that we spoke of, and this enables you to create a convex fillet on an inside edge or a concave fillet on an outside edge. And this Inventor Ideas submission eliminates the need to create additional sketches or features. So whether you're editing parts in an AnyCAD workflow or adding edge treatments to your 3D models, Inventor 2019 has the tools to help you work more efficiently. So there you have it, some of the key new features, functionalities, workflows, and enhancements to the 2019 release of Autodesk Inventor. You might be wondering, okay, that looks great. How can I get further information? Well, you can get further information by going to the help file of the 2019 release. This is online, so you can go to the Knowledge Network and search for the Autodesk Inventor 2019 help, or you could do a search for Google search for what's new as well. But once you've made the decision to invest in migrating from a previous release to the 2019 release, it's simply a matter of using the desktop app, the Autodesk desktop app, which should have been installed with your prior release if you're on a release of the last couple of years. And that will automatically prompt you that there is a newer release available and do you want to install it, and it will automate much of that process for you. Alternatively, you can also access the downloader for the installer for Inventor 2019 from your Autodesk account. The web address for this is manage.autodesk.com, where you can download, your current or your previous use entitlements, plus any additional releases or service packs that have been released to those since they were initially released. Furthermore, how can you make your voice heard? And we've spoken about this. This has been a common theme not only for this webinar but for previous webinars, and that is providing feedback and insight into areas that can help improve technology like Autodesk Inventor. The Inventor Beta Forum is a really good place to start. This is an area where you get access on signing up and getting approval, get access to early releases of the technology to understand the future direction of the product, and then help contribute towards the development and providing feedback to the development team about new features and functionality that are being added. So if you'd like to participate in that, then please sign up using the link shown there on the screen. Also, if you might think, well, why don't they do this in Inventor, or I wish it had this new, or this new feature or functionality. You can always raise those ideas on the Inventor Ideas page, or the Ideas Forum, or the Ideas Station, and you can access that using the link there. But you can also vote on other people's ideas as well. So if you find an idea that someone's already come up with, and you think, wow, that's actually a really good idea, you have the ability to be able to contribute towards, the possibility of that idea being accepted, recognizing that typically the ideas that float to the top, the ones that get the most votes, are the ones that obviously get more, grab the attention of the development team when it comes time to look at what new features and functionality gets added to the next release of Inventor. Otherwise, that was rather a short but sweet presentation on the Inventor 2019 release and the new features and functionality. If you're looking for some further insight, please feel free to reach out to your reseller. If you're trying to find a reseller or you're trying to find their contact details, please, you can do so by using the autodesk.com/resellers link. If you're looking at something specific about the Inventor release, you can also go to the autodesk.com/products/Inventor website. We should have some further information. And also feel free to reach out to me if you've got any specific questions. My contact details are shown there on the screen. Otherwise, I will let you enjoy the second half of your lunch. It is not looking like a great day here in Melbourne, a little bit windy and overcast and miserable outside, but I really appreciate your time. Hopefully we see you at a future webinar focused on some of the other exciting 2019 releases and other products. Otherwise, enjoy your weekend and hopefully we see you soon. Bye for now.